Hello and welcome to Unwind Sessions, where right after my shift I give the highlights of my workday and answer any questions I might have been asked at a previous session. My name is Juan. I'm an English Spanish medical video remote consecutive interpreter with over 4 years of experience. And today is Wednesday, June 9th, 2021. Today I took a total of 21 sessions, and let me tell you, it sure did not feel like 21 sessions. I had a video session that was pretty long. I only had like a couple of audio sessions, so every other session was a video session. Another thing that I would like to add is that today I felt really stressed out and really anxious because my semester is almost over and I have a ton of homework, and I'm freaking out. I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to make it. Um, I am relaxed now. I have calmed down. I am still a little stressed and still a little anxious, but not as I was when the day started. As soon as I got on my computer to start my shift, I felt weird. I felt different. I felt like my head was stuffy. I felt my mouth was very, very dry. I felt very thirsty. I wanted to go to the bathroom a lot. My hands were sweating, and that is because I was just thinking in the back of my mind. I was thinking, you are not going to be able to finish. I need to be finished by the 16th, and I still have two classes with 2 units to go, and 2 units each. They're like 3 unit classes, so I'm like 7 days away from deadline, and I still have like 2/3 of each class to complete. I've already completed two classes, which I'm happy on that, but the other two I still have a lot of work to do. I won't be working tomorrow. I asked for the day off so that I can actually finish, and I asked for next Wednesday off, which is the deadline, so that in case I don't finish it between tomorrow and the weekend, I will have that day to freak out about. So yeah, I mean, today was bad. Today was a bad day for me. I think this, in the history of my bad days as an interpreter goes, I would say this is the worst day so far. And I've had very bad days. I have had days where I've been interpreting with a fever. I've had days when I have diarrhea and I've been interpreting. So yeah, I put myself in tough situations, and they haven't even been that bad. Like this time, that I was feeling like really, really anxious. So right now I don't feel that much. My hands are not sweating. I feel a little bit of a stuffy head. I feel it like just like right here, but I don't really feel that anxious, and I don't have that little voice anymore telling me, "Oh, you're gonna run out of time. You're not gonna make it." That little voice is not bothering me anymore, because I know as soon as I stop filming this video, I'm gonna go get on that homework, and I don't work tomorrow, so I'm gonna be working there all day. So yeah, I'm a little relaxed right now, and of course I was feeling like, um, okay, so you're here working and you have all tons of homework, and you're never gonna get it done, and that just pressured me. It made me feel bad. It made me feel so bad, and I messed up a lot. I couldn't really interpret today. I did my best, and I think that I did an okay job. I'm gonna tell you, I've made a lot of mistakes. Well, not really a lot of mistakes. I made one mistake, that I would call a big mistake. But other than that, I just couldn't remember certain words. Like, of course, because I was listening to the lady, but then I had this thought just drilling in my mind, like, you need to be doing homework, you're running out of time. So it was hard. It was hard concentrating today. It was a horrible day for me because of that. I was just feeling so much anxiety. It felt bad, and I'm not an anxious person. I mean, I do feel like a little bit of anxiety at the moment, and then it just dissipates really quick. But this time it was like just like a slow, lingering anxiety that was there. Nothing that I felt before. it was bad. I didn't like it, and I hope I never feel this way again. So I'm just gonna get to it after this. I'm gonna do my homework, and I'm not gonna work tomorrow. Like I said, I'm just gonna be busy working, so no video tomorrow. I'm gonna put one of the old videos again. Um, that's what I've been doing. Whenever I don't work, I just give you one of the Patreon videos and make it public. So that is what I'm gonna do for tomorrow. So let me tell you the highlights of today. So I was feeling this way, and my first session, it was an over the phone session, and it was a 70-year-old lady, and it really frustrated me because the lady did not let me interpret. Now, if you know what this feels like, you know it's bad. Now add anxiety and stress to the mix, so it was bad. It was bad. I got frustrated really quickly, and at one point, I just told the provider, I told her, I'm sorry, ma'am, but this lady just keeps on interrupting. Is it okay if I let her know that she needs to let me interpret? And then she said, okay. And then I went ahead and I told the lady, I told her, ma'am, I'm sorry, but you're not letting me interpret. Whenever I'm talking, you start talking and you say a lot, and I'm not able to hear anything that you're saying, so I cannot interpret, and you're not letting me interpret what you already said, and we're not gonna get anywhere. So you need to give me a moment so that I can actually interpret. And then the lady was really nice. She apologized, and everything was well. Another thing that happened in this session, it was that this lady spoke perfect English. Like honestly, sometimes I'm not able to understand the LEPs when they speak English. Not all the time, but sometimes they do have very bad pronunciation, and sometimes I'm not able to understand them. But this time I could understand the lady perfectly. But every time the lady spoke in English, the provider did not answer. So the provider did not understand her, or was not paying attention, or was not expecting an English answer from the lady, so she wouldn't answer. And then I would ask her, I'm sorry, ma'am, this is the interpreter speaking. The lady spoke English. Did you understand her? And she would be like, no, I'm sorry, I didn't understand her. And then I would ask the lady to repeat what she said, and she would, and then I would just interpret it. So yeah, that was my first session. I don't remember if I missed any words on that. That was the worst session today. Like I felt the worst right at that session because that's when everything just fell upon me, and I just felt bad. Another thing, and this was kind of funny actually. So I was interpreting for a lady, and the gentleman had said something that he couldn't understand me or something, and I went ahead and I interpreted it for the lady, and the lady went ahead and she thought that I was speaking directly to her. So then I let her know. I told her, "Oh no, ma'am, I'm sorry. This is uh, the person, the patient that is actually speaking. It is not me. Whenever I'm gonna speak to you, I am going to let you know directly. I'm gonna tell you this is the interpreter speaking, and that way you know that it's me that's actually speaking and not the patient." And sometimes I don't do that, but this just made me see that that is very, very important. And sometimes I forget, honestly. Sometimes I say something, and then at the end I tell them that that was from the interpreter or something like that. And it just made me appreciate the importance of actually saying this is the interpreter speaking before you're actually going to be voicing something yourself, right? So believe me, I'm never gonna forget that, or I hope I never forget that I actually have to say that this is interpreter speaking before actually speaking, which I don't do all of the time, and that's wrong, and I really should do it, and I believe that everyone that is an interpreter should also do it as well. And something else that happened during this session, it was that the lady actually spoke directly to me, and I went ahead and I interpreted it for the patient. And then the lady just laughed and she said, "No, this was directly for you. I was looking at you. So whenever I look at you, I'm speaking to you. Whenever I look at the patient, I speak to the patient." And I said, "All right, I got it." So yeah, it just it happened both ways. So that's why um, the importance, right, of differentiating when you're speaking or when they're speaking directly to you, because of course the other party can assume that depending on what you say, they can assume that you, the interpreter, is saying it, or that the other party is saying it when it's actually you that is saying it, and it can go the other way, right? So it just showed me the importance of actually doing this, which, like I mentioned before, I didn't do it all the time because I forgot. But now I am going to go ahead and I am going to make an effort to say it every time. And yeah, another thing that happened today, it was that the doctor said I need to be right back. I'm gonna go get a tongue depressor. And since I had so much things going on in my mind, I couldn't think of the actual translation for it. And it's funny and you're gonna laugh, but I actually went ahead and I said, uh, can you just hold on a moment? I'm gonna go get some material to lower the tongue. And I looked it up after I already said that, and I couldn't think of the equivalent. And of course, the Spanish translation for tongue depressor is just the same, depresor lingual or depresor de lengua. And of course, the one that really made me laugh is that is um, baja lenguas, which could be interpreted literally as a tongue lower. so so yeah, I mean, I couldn't believe that I couldn't come up with the translation for a tongue depressor, right? Because I mean, that's just one of the basic tools. That's just one of the things that you learn from the beginning. So yeah, I felt bad about that, and that's not even the worst thing that happened today. I'm about to get to that one. But before I get to the worst thing, selfish. Selfish was another word that I actually had to look up in my computer because I couldn't remember that. The Spanish translation for selfish is egoísta. And today, honestly, if I mean, less technology, right? If it wasn't for my computer and being able to look up those really like terms that on a good day I wouldn't have had a problem on, I wouldn't have made it. I would have probably had to excuse myself from work because my mind was just not in the right place. But I mean, I managed to get through all of the sessions, and now I am going to tell you the worst mistake. I believe this is the worst mistake that I've ever made in my whole interpreting career, and I am not proud of it, of course, and I felt bad. It made me feel bad, and then it made me feel even worse because I was doing a bad job because I was feeling so anxious and so bad and everything. So, let me get right to it. So the lady said, I really want information on a gastric balloon in Spanish, which the Spanish translation is a balón gástrico. And I went ahead and I actually interpreted it as a gastric sleeve. And the correct translation for a gastric sleeve is a manga gastrica. Now, if you're not familiar with both of these terms, of course, I had never heard what a gastric balloon was. Let me go ahead and give you the definition. So, from mayoclinic.org, the definition of an intragastric balloon placement is a weight loss procedure that involves placing a saline-filled silicone balloon in your stomach that helps you lose weight by limiting how much you can eat and making you feel fuller faster. So this is pretty much a balloon, and if you look it up in Google and you go to images, you're gonna see what it is. So it's pretty much a balloon that they put in the stomach, so that the person doesn't have that much room in the stomach, and they feel full and they can no longer eat. And what I actually interpreted it as was a gastric sleeve, which WebMD, the definition for that, is the gastric sleeve surgery or vertical sleeve gastrectomy is a bariatric procedure that removes 75 to 80% of the stomach. So this is something like very different. Like they are both for weight loss, right? But one, you're just placing a balloon that you could fill and you can deflate and you can take out. But the other procedure is actually a surgery that they take your stomach, right? Like say like this is your stomach, and like they just like clip this part of the stomach, like they just cut it out. So now your stomach is not this big. Your stomach is actually like just this part right here. And I actually have like some. Let me go ahead and draw it for you. I forgot that I had some nice tools that I can actually draw. So don't laugh at my drawings because I'm not the best artist in the world. But let's say like this is a normal stomach, right? So once they do the surgery, they are going to cut this part of the stomach right here. So you no longer have that part of your stomach, and you are left with this part of your stomach, which is just like that. It's not like such a big sack. So that way you will be full faster. So it was not the same thing, not at all. And I actually caught it, and because of course I didn't feel comfortable because I said gastric balloon, but then it hit me like after I already interpreted it, and I realized that I made a mistake. But before I could fix it on my own, the patient actually went ahead and she told me, "I'm sorry, but you actually said a gastric sleeve, and what I actually meant was a gastric balloon." So when the patient said that, of course, I knew that I was wrong, and I told the provider, and I felt very bad. And nobody said anything after that, but of course, I felt guilty, and I felt bad, and I felt like I was doing a bad job, and I felt like the worst interpreter in the world. But it was nothing major, you know. It was just information, and nothing happened. But still, I mean, uh, this could have been bad, you know. uh, Gastric balloon and gastric sleeve, and the lady said that she considered a gastric balloon because she found that there were not that many side effects and there was no surgery required, right? You just put the balloon in, you take the balloon out. As to what I was telling the doctor that she wanted to get her stomach size reduced, right? So, yeah, it was bad, and I consider it a huge mistake. And this is the worst mistake that I've ever made, and you can believe that I'm gonna remember it for the rest of my life. And well, yeah, but I mean, what am I gonna do, right? I just had all those problems and everything. I don't know if well, I did a good job, and I think that was the worst thing that I did today, and I feel bad about it. And right now, I feel better. I don't feel that anxious, and I don't feel that bad anymore like I did. I just want to get down to my homework. I just want to go run to my homework right now. So I think that um, I want to leave you with something, and I mean, it's impossible for us to control life, right? There's going to be some aspects in our life that are just out of our control, and we wish we had control over everything, over our own body and everything, and to not feel anxiety, to be able to get everything done in time, and to do all of those things. But unfortunately, I mean, life just doesn't work that way, right? Life is not perfect. Things break down. You get in trouble with your government with taxes. Like I've been in trouble lately, and that has put a lot of stress on me. I've been missing a lot of work trying to get that fixed. So there's like a lot of things that are going on in my life right now. Not the best moment in my life, but I know that I'm gonna get through this, and I'm just doing everything that I can so that I can get through it. Of course, I have to sacrifice some things to do other things, and I think that's part of being an adult, right? You're gonna have to sacrifice some things to get other things done, right? Like the most important things. But I mean, that's life, and we have to learn how to work with it. And I would say, like, just try as hard as you can to not procrastinate. I know that it's hard to do sometimes. It's hard for me, I know. But I just try my best, and I think that I think you should always just try your best, and you should always strive strive your best, and you should always try to be better and learn from every situation. Uh, I feel like this situation was just so out of my hands. Um, but then again, I know I'm gonna get through it. So yeah, that's pretty much it for me today. I'm sorry that I couldn't give you a more productive session today, but I hope I mean you guys can understand why this is, and yeah, so that's pretty much it for me today. Remember that I won't be here tomorrow, but you will have a session from the past, and that will be pretty much it for me today. Please leave your questions on your comment. Please leave your questions on your comments. Please leave your questions on the comments, and I will answer some of them on the next session. And thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you like the video and have not done so for more content. And don't forget to share. Happy interpreting.